Dear students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Y.S. Rajput, former Head of Division, Animal Biochemistry Division, National Dairy Research Institute, Karnal. Today I am going to teach you one of the immunological technique, that is enzyme-linked immunosorbent assay, under the paper Biochemical Techniques. The technique is popularly called as ELISA, that is ELISA. The name of the technique itself tells that technique uses enzyme which is linked to antibody or antigen, and such antibody or antigen molecules are adsorbed on the surface with the help with the objective of measuring the antigen or antibody. In simplified terms, the technique of ELISA is used for estimation of either antigen or antibody in a specific way. The method uses the enzyme, that's why the method is highly sensitive. Sensitivity and specificity of the technique is the reason why the technique is very commonly used in the diagnostic laboratories. Because of its use in diagnostic laboratories, the technique is now very commonly understood by a common person and is now extensively used in research laboratories across the disciplines and also in the diagnostics for measuring the level of the antigen or the antibody. Objective of my presentation is to make you understand principle of enzyme linked immunosorbent assay, which is in short called ELISA. I will be also explaining how ELISA is performed. Also in my presentation, I will be focusing on different designs in which ELISA can be performed. Finally, I will be also explaining the precautions required for successful performance of ELISA technique. How to address the problems in the form of troubleshooting is also covered in my today's presentation. ELISA is immunological technique and is used for measuring interaction of antigen and antibody. The technique can be used for measurement of either antigen or antibody. More applications are reported for measurement of antibody. Since technique involves antigen and antibody, it is appropriate to explain how these two molecules are understood in better way. Antigen and immunogen are interchangeably used in general. Typically, immunogen is able to produce immune response and in that process generate antibodies. These molecules specifically can bind to immunogen besides other molecules which are called antigen. Small molecules usually will not give immune response unless otherwise these are coupled with carrier molecules. Large size molecules have better chance to give immune response. Animal administered with antigen will synthesize antibody only if antigen is foreign to blood circulation. Antibody will bind to antigen on certain surface structures called epitope. An antigen can have few epitopes. Epitope is small in size and therefore it can be present in small size molecules also. Because of the small size of epitope, it is probable that such surface structures are also found on other related or unrelated molecules. This is the basis of recognition of unrelated molecules or antigen. It is clear by now that antibody is produced in response to antigen. It is a protein molecule having a structure similar to English alphabet Y. A typical antibody molecule has two identical light chains shown as red lines and two identical heavy chains shown in green lines. These light and heavy chains are held together by disulfide bonds. N-terminal end of light or heavy chains has variable amino acid sequences, and these constitute antigen binding site and represented by FAB. Each molecule of antibody has two FAB sites, and therefore each of Y-shaped structure protein molecule can bind to two molecules of antigen. Constant region of light or heavy chains are at C-terminal end. Constant regions of both heavy chains are referred as Fc fraction, which has species-specific sequence. It is mentioned here that FAB region of antibody will bind to epitope on antigen. For different epitope, even on the same molecule, different antibody is required for binding. Since Fc region of antibody are species-specific, such molecules can act as antigen for other species. If target of Y-shaped protein molecule is not known, then these are called immunoglobulins. It can be therefore said that immunoglobulins from one species will act as antigen for other species. In fact, in one of the design of ELISA, these antibodies are used, and we will discuss it there. When antigen and antibody solutions are mixed, antigen-antibody complexes form. This is a reversible reaction. Always there will be free antigen and free antibody molecules in addition to antigen-antibody complex in reaction mixture. The interaction between antigen and antibody is defined in terms of affinity constant referred as capital K, which is equal to concentration of antigen-antibody complex divided by multiplication of free antigen and free antibody concentrations. Higher value of affinity constant indicates that reaction will proceed more towards antigen-antibody complex formation. Antibody with high affinity constant can keep entire amount of antigen in complex form. In ELISA, higher affinity antibody is preferred. At times, high affinity antibody can also show high cross reaction. Measurement of complex can be made only when a label is introduced either on antigen or antibody molecules, and free antigen and free antibody molecules are quickly removed. Antigen or antibody molecules can be labeled with an enzyme or isotope. The difference between ELISA and radioimmunoassay technique, popularly referred as RIA, is that enzyme is used in ELISA while isotope is used in RIA. The antigen-antibody reaction can be conveniently carried out on plastic surface, and for this purpose plates are prepared, referred as ELISA plate. These are 96 well rectangular plates. Each well can accommodate 400 to 500 microliters of volume. The wells are transparent. Their positions are well defined. For this purpose, there are 12 columns and numbered from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 8 rows which are named as A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H. This makes possible to name each well. For example, number A5 corresponds to a well having position in 5th column and A row. These plates are prepared from polyvinyl chloride or polystyrene. Polyvinyl chloride plate can be used in ELISA and RIA. Polystyrene is suitable for ELISA. These plates are designed in a way to allow measurement of absorbance of each plate by ELISA plate reader. The reader remembers the well number while giving absorbance in output. The measurement of absorbance by ELISA plate reader is very fast. Since antigen-antibody reactions are carried out in wells of small size, volumes of antigen and antibody are used in microliters, and therefore it helps in saving the reagents. Since well positions are uniform and it is possible to add solutions to multiple wells with the use of multi-channel pipettes, washing of wells with buffer is very convenient, and it requires filling the wells with buffer and then plate is emptied. Dimension of the plate is very convenient and can be placed in incubator conveniently. I have been explaining the features of the ELISA plate reader. In this plate reader, blank samples and control samples can be defined so that ELISA plate reader can provide the results in desired format, and the results are available in just 2 to 3 minutes. There are few distinct steps in ELISA. These include coating, blocking, washing, antigen-antibody reaction, and color development. Coating is first step. Depending on design, either antigen or antibody can be coated. Coating is carried out by addition of 100 microliters of solution, usually containing 1 microgram of antigen or antibody. Plate is incubated overnight at refrigerator temperature. Antigen can be solubilized in phosphate buffer saline solution or bicarbonate buffer. Binding of antigen to plastic is hydrophobic, and only a small fraction of antigen binds to surface. Antigen can be recovered before proceeding to next step for its reuse. Blocking refers to saturating all remaining binding sites on plastic surface. After blocking, new protein molecules can only bind through coated molecules. Blocking can be done with solutions of bovine serum albumin, casein, skim milk powder, or twin 20 solutions. Wells are filled with blocking solution and plate is incubated for 2 hours at 37 degrees centigrade. After blocking, 100 microliters of diluted antiserum containing antibody against antigen is added. Plate is incubated for 2 hours at 37 degrees centigrade. Plate is then 4 to 5 times washed with phosphate buffer saline. After washing step, wells are treated with second antibody enzyme conjugate. These are antibodies raised against immunoglobulins from species from which primary antibodies are obtained and coupled with enzyme. These immunoglobulin enzyme conjugates are commercially available. Enzymes generally used for conjugation includes horseradish peroxidase and alkaline phosphatase. Plate is again incubated at 37 degrees centigrade for 2 hours. Plate is then washed with phosphate buffer saline. Afterwards, 100 microliter of substrate is added for horseradish peroxidase, hydrogen peroxide, and TMB or DAB can be used. For alkaline phosphatase, para-nitrophenyl phosphate is used. Absorbance is read after stopping reaction. ELISA plate reader can provide the absorbance from all the 96 well plate in one go. The sensitivity of the ELISA is in the range of 0.1 nanogram to 1 nanogram in sample, that is in the volume of 100 microliter. We have covered fundamental aspects of antigen, antibody, antigen-antibody interaction, epitopes, FAB and FC regions of antibody, and concepts in measurement of antigen-antibody complex, signal enhancement by enzymes, and various steps in ELISA technique. How antigen-antibody reactions are carried out in low volumes are also explained. We have explained here how the antigen and antibody can be used for giving a very simple and quick protocols. Principles ELISA has been explained in detail how the ELISA plate reader works in measuring the absorbance of the ELISA plate is also explained. Since antigen-antibody complex involves binding of antigen and antibody, so complex formation is dependent on the concentration of either antigen or antibody. Thus, it can be said that ELISA technique can be used for assaying of antigen as well as antibody molecules. ELISA involves multiple steps. This we have explained in the detail the purpose for which the various steps are carried out in the ELISA technique. Reproducibility and sensitivity are crucial for any of the technique, including the ELISA. For improving reproducibility, sensitivity, simplicity, various workers have designed ELISA in different ways. This has resulted in designing ELISA in different ways. So this also now explained in the remaining portion of my presentation. I will be explaining the various approaches used for designing ELISA. ELISA is performed in two different broad designs. These are called non-competitive and competitive designs. In competitive ELISA, labeled antigen will compete with unlabeled antigen from sample for limited amount of antibody. Similarly, labeled antibody will compete with unlabeled antibody from sample for limited amount of antigen. In non-competitive ELISA, there will not be any competition between labeled and unlabeled antigen or antibody. Non-competitive ELISA can be divided into direct ELISA, indirect ELISA, and sandwich ELISA. These designs are discussed in detail now. Now I will be explaining the design used for the direct ELISA. In direct ELISA, antigen is coated on plate at different dilutions. In a certain concentration range, the amount of bound antigen will be proportional to its concentration in sample. After blocking, antibody enzyme conjugates are added and color development is carried out. There will be a linear relationship between concentration and absorbance that indicates that the color response will increase when the level of antigen in sample is more. Color response will be low if level of antigen is low in sample. So that way we can say that linearity is established in direct ELISA, but the sensitivity of the technique in this particular design is generally poor. Now I will be explaining the designs in indirect ELISA. In this ELISA, one additional step is added. Primary antibody first binds to antigen which is coated on surface, and then secondary antibody linked with enzyme binds to primary or first antibody. Sensitivity is high. Again, in this design, the relationship between concentration and absorbance is linear. We have covered theoretical and practical aspects of our immunological techniques. This technique is increasingly used in diagnostics. Thus, it is essential that reliability of the results should be of higher order. This will essentially require use of negative controls, positive controls using non-immune serum and immune serum respectively. Standard curve is to be prepared using wells from the same plate. Color reaction should be in the linear range of protocol. Availability of ELISA in different design helps to use this technique in a different way. ELISA technique has many advantages over other methods. The reaction can be carried out in low volumes and thus saves the expensive reagents. It is worth to mention that purified and specific antibodies are expensive. Specificity of monoclonal antibodies is better over polyclonal antibodies. The results from the ELISA can be obtained in 3 to 5 hours. Many samples can be analyzed simultaneously and thus the technique saves time in providing the results from many samples in a limited time. The availability of the ELISA place reader is also helped to develop this technique and used by many laboratories because simultaneously the results of absorbance are obtained in a given time very quickly. Availability of antigen antibody against the antigen has also helped to use this technique in wider areas of science, including the research laboratories and the analytical laboratories and the diagnostic laboratories. One should be careful in design for the assay, either antigen or antibody, and each design should be checked for reproducibility and the sensitivity. Antibody uses the ELISA is also to be checked for specificity. It can be concluded that ELISA can be used in different formats for assaying both antigen and antibody molecules. I will be explaining the design for the sandwich ELISA. In sandwich ELISA, two antibodies are used. First antibody recognizes one epitope while another antibody recognizes another epitope. Therefore, this design can be used only when antigen contains at least two epitopes and antibodies against these epitopes are available. Unlabeled antibody is coated while other antibody labeled with an enzyme binds to other epitope. There is a linear relationship between absorbance and concentration. The measurement is highly specific since the technique uses two antibodies which are specific to two different epitopes. Now I will be explaining the most frequently used design of ELISA, that is the competitive ELISA. And this design is very popular. In this design, antibody is coated, label antigen and antigen from the sample competes for limited amount of antibody on the surface. Enzyme activity is inversely proportional to amount of antigen. Similar approach can also be used for assay of antibody where antigen is coated instead of antibody. Dear students, let us now summarize what we have learned today on the technique, that is the ELISA technique. So by now you should be very clear that this is a immunological technique. It requires a specific antibody. It requires enzymes which catalyze the reaction, and that is how the sensitivity of assay is enhanced. While selecting the enzyme, one should be careful that these enzymes have high turnover number for enhancing the color reaction, which can be read by ELISA plate reader. I will also say that the technique, any techniques like ELISA technique, one should know what is the meaning of sensitivity, what is the meaning of reproducibility, what is the meaning of sensitivity in terms of measuring total quantity or concentration of any particular analyte. Once we say reproducibility, it essentially means that how the various results conducted on different days for the same sample, how much close these to each other. Once we say sensitivity, it essentially means that how much minimum amount of the analyte can be measured by particular technique. Sensitivity and reproducibility, these are two different things, and one should be very clear about these concepts even in analytical methods, including this present technique which we have discussed. Thank you.